Welcome back to the channel. I'm so excited today to take you through what is in the bag for my driver for off-season 3. So this is gonna be an interesting evolution throughout the off-season because we've made some swing changes, because I'm trying to align my game to be better, and again, my ultimate goal is to become a professional golfer. I'm making some adjustments for this part of the game that we're gonna document throughout this off-season to try and find the right piece to just round out my set. So why are we in this situation? What's happening with the driver? All of that. Well, first thing is that if you guys have seen any of my previous videos, if you've been following along, you know I prioritize absolutely sending it and speed, all of that, right? And all that's great. And I'm very fortunate that I've always kind of hit the ball pretty far, but now with all the extra work, I'm able to hit it quite far. One of the issues I was running into though, was that though I had the let's send it shot in the bag, sometimes just having something I could just hit out there and play was an issue. And so I'm trying to find the right driver that allows me to do both. Why do I need to be able to do both? And what am I really after? Well, up until about April or March, I believe, I was playing the G425 LST 9-degree head with a Ventus Black 6X shaft. And it was a great setup. It did pretty well for me. The issue I was finding was just, one, if you saw my What's in the Bag iron video, you know I prioritize a lighter swing weight, something I've grown to learn about myself. And I just found that the ping was just too heavy. So I actually moved into a Stealth Plus 9-degree with the Ventus and found that to just be a lighter feeling setup, which works with my swing and everything like that. And was sending it. Hit it stupid far. I hit the ping stupid far. Like, you know, here's some videos of me hitting it with Ryan Hawley last offseason. But as you can see, the spin number on that was way too low. So it was heavy and the spin way too low. When I moved into the Stealth actually gave me a little bit more spin, and I was still able to send it, thought it was good, thought it worked with my mechanics. As I kept working on my swing, as I kept trying to find a swing that works with the driver and works with the irons, I've been trying to find a marriage of not having swings that are too dissimilar so that I don't confuse myself and confuse my body. And one of the issues I would run into is that I'd be swinging my driver really well, but that swing would not work with my irons at all. And I know there are differences in the swings and all that, but the general essence, they weren't the same. And I've been prioritizing my iron swing because my approach stats have been some of my weakest. That is where my biggest gap has been since I started off season 1. So for me, it's what swing is going to allow me to be incredibly precise with the irons and the wedges, and then can I match that with the driver so that it's more harmonious and just provide me with a more ease on the golf course. And I kept fighting the fact that with the 9-degree driver and the swing that I would produce there, send it, wouldn't work with the irons. Then I would adjust and find the right swing with the irons, wouldn't work. So to kick things off this offseason, we're trying to find the right driver that fits what I'm doing. And the first thing I wanted to kind of go back to figure this out was go back to my original ping driver that I started my journey with. This is a Ping I-15. Okay, I bought this for $100 off a friend. And just, I don't know, there's something about this driver that has some magic. Okay. So I brought it to Rich and we tried to figure out, like, what is the magic about this? What is it in particular that for some reason, the feel of it, the shaft, the weight, everything, even the face angle, right? It's a 9.5-degree head versus a 9, but when you look down at it, it almost looks a touch closed. It almost looks like you have enough loft. One of the things I don't like is when you look down at the driver and there's just not nearly enough loft. And that's something I've learned after playing the Stealth 9-degree head and turning it down almost all the way to like 7.5. You can absolutely send it, but sometimes I just don't think in high pressure situations that is the play. So here's some clips from me and Rich at the shop, just trying to find the magic of why I like this driver so much.
Rich, we're here to diagnose what the magic is in this driver. Okay, it's a million years old.
It is.
It's basically falling apart. Okay. But if there's anybody who can help me try and make a modern version of why this is so good for me, it's you.
Yeah, I think we put a new grip on it, but maybe we nibble it out a little bit to get this same, like
The same worn out texture.
that's unbelievable.
Do you have any pre-aged, pre-worn grips from 2012? We can
just go to the charity shop and
Yeah.
pick some out. We'll throw it on there. But yeah, we should look at swing weight. We'll look at the frequency, look at the length, and just see why you like it. There's going to be something in this that you enjoy. Get her on there. 269. So it's pretty stiff. Like I think it says it's a tall stiff. 268. Yeah, it says tall stiff flex, and it's actually flexing out of extra stiff. I think this is going to be, depending on the length. So 45 it would be an X. So
Okay.
let's see. I imagine this is probably 45, right? Being the
I have no idea.
45 and a half. So this is over extra stiff.
Okay.
So that's one reason why you like it, right? It's pretty firm, pretty stout. So we might just give it a little look.
Because it feels perfect at address when I hold it.
Yeah.
It feels like I can make all the backswing and proper swings I need.
So it's D3.5.
So it's light.
It's about
Lightish?
right.
Lightish for a driver?
It's fine. I like D4, D3.5 is fine. This older shaft, we should look at the tech of it and see if it has a high kick point, low kick point, where this stiffness is situated.
Then-
that might be something that you're feeling in your mind's eye.
And then closed face angle, right? It's a 9.5, but it sits decently closed.
I mean, I look at that and I'm like, it's pretty square to me.
Okay. It looks closed-ish compared to maybe modern drivers.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, this will never be the furthest driver, but
It feels.
it's just, I never have that scary, where is this going?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
There's a lot to be said for that.
And
especially when you're
it's-
saying the first tee.
exactly, it's like, I just know, like, I can just feel, my biggest thing is I cheat the transition. Like, my problem is I will cheat, and I feel like I can get a full turn. Yeah. See? I can go right through that. That's money.
Hasn't moved either.
So as you can see from the clips, right, lighter swing weight, the shaft is very stiff, but the overall feel of the club just works. And what made me bring this back is I actually put it in play this summer for a couple rounds, and my fairways hit was crazy because, as you can see also too, if you look at the foresight, data from those two drives I showed here, right, I'm able to hit kind of my squeezy downward drive, right? Like, these aren't the send it swings. Like, my attack angle here on the first drive is 1.6 up. My attack angle on the second drive here is 0.6 down. So that's my squeezy play it, get it out there. And thankfully, because of my speed and because of my swing now, that's great distance for that kind of shot. I struggle to replicate that with accuracy with the normal stealth 9-degree setup that I have. One of the things I wanted to see is, can I replicate this with a more modern setup? So what we have to try and see if we can beat it or replicate something close is I have the modern version of this shaft.
Yeah.
We've got it in a stealth 8-degree head turned closed to try and match that face angle. So let's see swing weight.
D5.
It's heavy, eh?
Getting a little heavier.
How do we take that weight out?
So I have an answer for that.
Look at this precision. It's annoying that they don't make the same tool for the back.
D3.
D3.
Point. If it stops wobbling. D3.3.
Ooh.
Right? That's
Okay.
A little bit more dialed.
Okay.
So as you can see too, from finding the more modern version of the V2 shaft, I was able to still hit it well, but the problem with that one is that it's not as stiff as the original V2 that's in my pink. So the feel isn't the same. And I found that on the course, it just wasn't as stable as I needed it to be, especially under the gun. So the next shaft we tried with the same face angle was the Hazardous Smoke RDX Black. And this I loved. Here's a clip of me hitting that shaft.
You like to feel lightness, don't you?
I do. Dude, that's gone. I love how light that feels.
Yeah.
That might.
That's a cat amongst the pigeons, isn't it?
Huh. You know what? It's a touch stiffer, but it's got the same weight in my hands.
D3.2.
Perfect.
So exactly the same as the others. And it's 45 and a half. So in line with everything else that we're trying. So it's not like a weird anomaly there that's playing a factor.
And what I've learned for myself is that I really like that feel of a lighter club, right? I think that's also why I love the Autoflex. That's why I think the Autoflex worked for me and something I liked. And maybe I need to bring the Autoflex back. I don't know. But there's something about a lighter club and a lighter swing weight that just feels right for me and works for me. So I think we found the right shaft, but through taking the stealth on the course with this newer swing, it's just not gonna take me where I need to go. I need to work way too hard to make the stealth work. And I'm seeing it on the range. I took that driver to my coach Max just to see with a lesson where I have to put the ball position in my stance to make it happen, puts me in a dangerous spot because I have to put the ball too far forward. And that leads to sometimes that left miss. So to remedy this and in order to pull the ball back, I need more loft. I need to see more loft because seeing that less loft and having the ball that far back in my stance just gives me the heebie-jeebies, and I can't rotate through. I can't look at that with any confidence. We have to move to more loft. This is where we're gonna be doing more experimenting this offseason. So currently in the bag to test, I have a Rogue Max LS Triple Diamond 10.5 degree with a Tensei whatever shaft right now. It's just a demo setup. I need to dial it in more, but here's a couple swings from that at the shop so you can get a sense of numbers. Whew, that's high. There we go. That's a good drive. There's a good swing. And I can't get that with the stealth. I can't get, this is what allows me to play tournament golf. 2 out to in, 1-5 up. I can't ask for more. All right, how are we looking on swing weight?
It's D6.4. So it's actually a touch heavier.
It's quite heavy.
Yeah.
Which I would say I don't love how heavy it is, but I hit it well.
At 45 3/4. Yeah.
Couple different swings there. Obviously, you know, for the more tournament shot, this seems to be the play in terms of loft, right? Especially on the course, what I was finding with a lower lofted driver was that my start lines and where I had to hit the ball were not direct enough, right? I had to rely too much on my push fade. I had to aim in weird spots to compensate. And if I connected, it would absolutely go. But in tighter spots, it would suffer. And luckily here where I practice at Cultus Lake Golf Club, I have one of the tightest driving holes I could ever ask for. And so that's my litmus test. I think 37 yards is how wide the fairway is. And if I can hit driver there full rip, that's how I know this is the play. And I would almost never hit the stealth in that situation, simply because where I would have to start the ball in order to make it work just didn't work with that tight space. I couldn't hit a tight, crisp fade with that loft package. And with this driver, I can, as you can see here. So that's a good indication. I'm putting more drives in play. I'm just giving myself opportunities. And I think that's the evolution and maybe the maturity of where my game is at now. Is it's more about putting myself in play and giving myself opportunities, as opposed to let's just long drive every single time and go find it. Yes, I do have that shot in the bag if needed, but I want to make my life a little less stressful. And I'm finding that if I have a little more loft, it just allows me to have more versatility with the driver and hit different shots. Because one of my favorite shots to hit is like a choke down punch drive that goes really low. It's almost like a cut stinger. You know, I hit that shot a lot here, especially with tree line courses. Sometimes I can just bunt one out there and not have to go full rip. It's a lot easier to do that with a driver with a little more loft than it is with a 7.5 degree let's go send it, right? And sometimes you'd say, well, why wouldn't you hit that with the 3-wood? I can hit that punch down drive in the summertime like really far. It goes a little farther than a 3-wood, right? And I don't have to full rip at it. I can kind of hit it straight and hit it more on a rope. So it's having that versatility. It's having those options. That's what I'm looking for. And I think that's what's going to give me an edge in competition, to not have to stress so much. Because the other factor is, with all the loft, is spin issues, right? One of the things that was driving me nuts was that I seem to take spin off the ball when I'm hitting it well. It happens almost across the bag. It's something I've actually noticed in my game since I started. And sometimes it works in my favor, but sometimes I can get in a lot of trouble with it. And with the driver, there are times when I can peel 500 RPM off of it, and I'll see in the simulator, I'll go from 2300 RPM, I'll crush one, and it'll drop to 1600, 1700, 1800 RPM. That can be a big problem outside. Wind, all those conditions can be extremely unpredictable. If I hit it well, it flies and goes a million miles, but that's just a lot of work to maintain. And I would rather have a little more loft and have, get away with some wipier shots. Like, here's a drive with the Rogue where, I completely wipe at it. It spins to, I think, like 3,500 RPM, but it's straighter, more online and in play. That's the strategy I'm going for. That's what we're after. Where the driver goes from here is what we're going to be evaluating. I'm waiting for the 2023 lineup to get announced. The ping driver specifically is very alluring to me with the new carbon technology, the way they've done it. I think an LST in a 10.5 with Rich being able to dial it in, and we can get the swing rate right and take some weight out of the head and align it. I think that might be the play, because, or even go to a 10.5 ping max. The reason why I want to potentially go back to the ping is that I just know that I hit it well, and I think I actually would have probably stayed with the G425 LST if I had it in 10.5 degrees. I have an inkling that that might be there. The other reason too is that my hybrid and my 3-wood, which I love and are going nowhere, are the G425 Max Hybrid and Max 3-wood. So those are two things that are staples in my bag and are going absolutely nowhere. If I could make it work with that, I think that could be a really good just kind of rounding out of the bag. But with that being said, I'm open to whatever's coming. Currently, I'm going to be playing the 10.5 Max LS Triple Diamond, and maybe that'll stay in the bag. Who knows? I need to dial in the shaft more. We need to dial in the swing weight, but it's good enough for me to train, and it's not getting in my way or causing my swing to get into any weird spots, which was happening with the Stealth. So the Stealth is gone. This is what's currently happening, and we're just going to have to see what happens from here. I'm very excited to test and continue, but at least now I have something that works and I can go play golf with. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Join me in my off-season journey to become a pro golfer. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.